Senate will come to order. Resolutions.
There are none.
Motions. Petitions.
There are none.
Unfinished business.
There is none.
Bills on third reading.
There are none.
Bills on second reading.
There are none.
Bills on first reading.
There are none.
Introduction of guests. Remarks by members of the Senate. Senator from Ohio County.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll be brief, but I didn't want to let the opportunity pass to make a few comments about the budget that we have received today from the House of Delegates. And I know I didn't get to listen to all the remarks over there, but I know there were a lot of remarks about comments from my House colleagues about the Senate's budget. And so haven't had a chance to go over everything yet, Mr. President, that's in this budget, but there's a couple of things that stand out to me that are pretty, that jump off the page at me when I take a look at this. And the first of which is, in this budget that's been proposed by the House, they have assumed close to $130 million in increased revenue that is based upon the governor's letter that we received yesterday. So I just wanted to read the footnote at the bottom of this letter that says, these estimates are contingent upon revenues and projected economic activity associated with the passage of engrossed Senate Bill 1003, relating generally to West Virginia Parkways Authority, and engrossed Senate Bill 1006, increasing funding for the State Road Fund as recommended by the governor. The issue for the House of Delegates is that they haven't actually passed these two pieces of legislation. So they've accounted for revenue, increased revenue estimates in their budget for legislation that hasn't passed, and the governor's letter clearly states that that increased revenue estimate is contingent upon passage of those bills. So that's $130 million. I also heard over the course of the last couple weeks from my House colleagues that they were concerned about creating structural stability in our budget, which I think is a reasonable thing to be concerned about. But while they've been patting themselves on the back about restoring some of the cuts that the Senate had proposed, $52 million of this budget is one-time money. We have $24.3 million from Senate reappropriation, DHHR reappropriation, and special revenue directed transfers, plus increased general revenue surplus section by additional $12.7 million, $5 million in lottery, and $10 million in excess lottery. So we're looking at $52 million in one-time money. As we know, that one-time money doesn't do much for creating structural stability in our budget. So, Mr. President, obviously we're going to have to continue to look through this budget, go through it with a fine-tooth comb. There's a lot to it, but those are just some of the things that jumped off the page at me as we had our first read of it, and I just want to share that with everybody here. Thank you, Mr. President.
Further remarks? Miscellaneous business. The Senator, Senator from Harrison County.
Thank you. You know, Mr. President, I'm going to stand up here for a brief second because I know everybody knows where we're at, but you know, I just want to say we've been here for so long, and you know, when I was questioning the gentleman from Ohio yesterday, I asked what was Plan B. There obviously is no Plan B. They've rejected what we've done. We're about to reject what they're sending back over the House. What are we going to do, ladies and gentlemen? What are we going to do? You know, I analogize this to two countries pointing nuclear weapons at each other and shaking sabers. A mistake can be made, and one of those are going to get fired, and then it's all over. If we don't get a budget passed, and I know I'm saying things that everybody already knows, we don't get a budget passed, this state's going to shut down. Get a budget passed. I mean, my goodness. Our employees are in absolute disarray. I hear from them every day. They don't know what's going to happen to them. We worked out a great furlough bill. That's going to, have to go to conferees. Don't know what's going to happen with that. We are playing with people's lives. The future of our state. 100+ days we've been at it, and we still don't have a budget. Get a budget done. Please, I implore you. This reduction of personal income tax, we're never going to get it over. We're never going to get it through over there. And if we continue to stand pat, and I'm talking about you all because it's not our idea, you have the majority. If we continue to stand our ground on that, we're going to run into a catastrophe. I'm really getting concerned. You know, I kid around a lot, and I like everybody here, and I know everybody thinks they're doing the right thing, but I'm really getting concerned. And I ask you, let's put an end to this. Let's get a budget out that fixes our financial crisis, and let's take up all these other things at a later date in a more calm atmosphere. Thank you, Mr. President.
Miscellaneous business. Senator from Ohio County.
Noon. Thank you, Mr. President. Subject to announcements, I move the Senate stand adjourned until tomorrow at 12 noon.
Are there announcements? Senior Senator, are there announcements? If not, question for the Senate is, shall the Senate stand adjourned till tomorrow at noon? All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Declare the Senate adjourned until noon tomorrow.